This will be really funny if all of this ends up not being saved.
Well, hopefully he comes back and doesn't. Moo and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pinktron. I am Brent Robinson, and I'm joined today by Stef. Steph, what are you drinking?
Back again with the Fanta Lemon, which I probably won't open because I tipped it over and now it's full of bubbly. So it will go everywhere when I open it.
Let's not have any mid-podcast spillage. That would be bad. We also have Sean Fogenberg. Sean, what are you drinking?
Got the juicy little thing hazy IPA from Sierra Nevada.
Good, good. We also have we'll go to Craig Martin. Craig, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a President's Choice IPA. So that's alcohol free, and I'm probably shortly going to grab a another Corona Sunbrew. That's the vitamin D enhanced alcohol free Corona,
And
which
I think
actually
everyone
tastes no worse than Corona. So
everyone in Canada probably needs that this time of year. And we also have with us Steve Pritchard. Steve, what are you drinking?
I'm on soda water because I've not long come off the bike. But I finished that now because we were chatting for too long beforehand. You stole my joke as well, Brent. I was going to say vitamin D is probably quite essential in where Craig is, but
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, I've got a Partake Brewing Blonde DElk, which is not bad. Not bad for DElk beer. It's it's smooth, but it's got sharp flavors. Like riding breakfast pits and grits is smooth with some sharp hills in it. That just
oh, late entry into the chat. I think we can.
oh
John Keenan
oh
is joining as we
oh
go in.
we and I think
He's
we need to
missed
get
your
this one
incredibly
in.
greasy link. I
It's all
think
right. It's all right.
not
We'll
not
let everyone.
losing any power in your drivetrain when you ride, are you, Brent? With that grease. So, hey, John, what are you
Brutal.
drinking?
I have got organic banana water.
Banana water.
I had to get it when I saw it in the store. Ingredients include banana. No water listed on the label. So I'm a little worried that it might just be banana in a can, but we shall find out.
We might need to get like a. Oh, here it's a live taste test. John's saying a big. He just
Live
like went
taste
right
test.
into.
Somehow 0 grams of sugar, maybe added sugar. Yeah. Tastes like banana, I guess I'd say.
Does it just taste like they put a banana in a can?
They put a banana. Yeah, I think there is water in it because it's a little less thick than you would expect banana shoved into a tall boy, no less. A good 500
Oh God,
mil.
that's uh, that's amazing. All right,
Yeah.
um, we'll get into herd racing. HSRL is back. Week one of the new season of HSRL is on, and it is just one lap, right? Just one lap of breakfast crits and
No,
grits.
no, no. I think it's a custom finish somewhere.
Oh,
It's a bit more than one lap, I think.
just to finish. Okay.
yeah. So I believe the custom finish Merlin said was at the top of the climb up to the cat or
In the
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 Scotland
lock loop,
the outer loop banner. Uh,
yeah, the lock loop banner
Lock
is,
loop banner.
so it's
So you go back through Glasgow in extra time and then finish
Yes.
out? Okay. Got it.
yeah,
All right.
So another
Uh,
kicker, another champion sprint.
yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, Mario.
So that's a lot of segments. So again, for the uninitiated who may be picking up the Pinktron or herd racing for the first time, HSRL is a race that is based on points for your time through each segment on the race. So that's two-thirds of the points in the race will be based on your time through those segments, and then the final third of your score will be made up on your finish placing, basically 1 point per place on each of those. And they just kind of multiply out the finish points to make it up, add up to a third. And so on this route, you will go through one, two,
10.
three, 10, 10 segments. So it's It is right out of the pen up Sker south, the pavement side.
Yep.
Then you will do Clyde Kicker and then Champion Sprint. And then you're gonna go down the other side over to the Breakaway Bray Reverse segment, and you will do 5 laps of the Breakaway Bray Reverse. No, four, pardon me. 4 laps of the Breakaway Bray Reverse. So it's 4 counted segments through Breakaway Bray Reverse. 7? Oh, you're counting the segments. Oh, and then Sker North again, and then back through Clyde Kicker again, and then Champion Sprint with the finish line before I get back to the loop banner for your 10.
Yeah.
Sorry, Craig's giving me the finger counting for everyone who's wondering why I'm blowing it all here, but it was confusing me because I was looking at the counting them up, then he was showing me 7. I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's only 4 laps. All right. So that'll be fun.
That's gonna be brutal.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
that,
that. Go ahead, John.
I mean, it's still, mostly flat, right? Like it's not terrible route. I
Get
think
flat.
that Scotland
Scotland
is
isn't
the
flat.
no, I think Scotland is the toned down version of Yorkshire, right? Where it's all up and down, but it's not as up and down. Like
True.
the kicks are short. There's only like the only really draggy bit is that kind of the cliffside bit that for the finish. Everything else is a short little punch. Um, Aside from the actual Skur climb, which it does do the Skur, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just the pavement side.
Which is the better side. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So it's basically that's gonna be depending on your category between a minute and a half and somewhere above 2 minutes, and the rest is sub 1 minute efforts, basically.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, about being the better side. I think chucking a 4 to 6 minute climb in this route
Yeah.
would really mix it up. Like you'd have something for more climbery folks, and you'd have something
Yeah,
for
true.
the sprint folks. As it is, it's all a bit like. I mean, we were chatting before we recorded about Chris doing really well, and we were like, this actually, it's a route that really suits Chris Greenland and his power profile and where he's really strong. I think if you're strong in that 30 to 60 power band, 30, 60 seconds,
Yeah,
it's a good course for you, isn't it?
I
yeah,
mean,
it's a proper
it's
above VO2 max.
it's the people that are so honestly, this is a Craig Martin course. It's people who can do that power but do it repeatedly. You got to be in good enough shape to be able to repeat that power 10 times, which, I think there are some of us who, you do a couple of those and then you're toast and you fall off by the third or fourth one.
So I think right now I'm not sure of how well I'm gonna do doing Skur twice. Just how little I've been riding. But yeah, I love all those sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're not like the short sprints, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not quite like just hang on the wheels and sprint through, right? Like something like Clyde Kicker, like you gotta like kind of go the whole time. Like you really have to go for 30 seconds. Something like
I think
Breakaway Bray Reverse
champion
or
sprint is the only one that's like, this is a sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
exactly.
No uphill to
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, because even that breakaway reverse segment is like it gets 400 meters at a 2% uphill climb. Like you can't really just sort of sprint to like 1400 watts and coast through. Like you've got to like kind of go the whole way into it to
Do you
make the
come in
time.
like even in champion sprint that can? I just can't remember where that is in the route now. Might be about to talk rubbish. No, it is into the route. So you'll come in up that little climb
Uh,
uh, before you turn left and turn left, and a lot of people
Yeah.
bump it up there just to sort of knock the edge off your sprint a bit. I think.
They do. Although I can never make that stick, it seems. Like it's not quite long enough and not quite steep enough to knock it out. It's kind of like that finish in Yorkshire too. It's like you think you're gonna like sprint someone off that wheel on that little climb, but it never ever works if you go first.
Unless you're
And
organic.
do we know how
Yeah.
far past the champion sprint banner the finish is? Like, is it just a couple 100 meters where you can sort of catch people out, or is it
No,
going to be
no. So it's
No,
like all the way out into Scotland, down along the cliff, up the hill,
So
almost to back to the pens. Yeah.
yeah,
people will see
yeah,
the distance left.
yeah. It's you still have some time to recover. Hang on for dear life. And this and
Looking, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Looking at
Neil was about
the.
the problem with online meetings. No, was about to say that's and even that is the level of draggy near the finish is still after you endured all of it, it's still nasty. If you're with a group, still. But go ahead,
So
Sean.
looking at the results page, I have uncovered what might be the biggest piece of news that we discuss here this week, which is Scorekeeper's team banner is heard right now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And I think Chris Greenland discovered he won because of my mention in the chat. Because he went Pikachu face.
Just can't believe that in 2025 someone can say something like he just went Pikachu face and everybody knows what that means now. And I didn't even see it. Anyway, I couldn't even venture a speculation on bike choice with upgrades and everything else anymore. Take something that's fast.
No, your as we discussed last week, bike is fixed to Canyon Aero
Oh,
2021. You can choose your wheels.
okay, take fast wheels. Probably not
No,
discs anymore.
it's,
Probably
it's
seven
not
eighths.
disc anymore, but so I guess, yeah, really, it's almost
The MVs.
NV 7/8 or 8/9 is, yeah, and it's a not a big difference between them.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
the 7/8s or the 434s, is it?
The
Yeah,
434s are really good too. Yeah.
the zip the zip 454s are
Oh, was it
those.
454?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did the DT Swiss 62s take a bit of a hit, I feel like in the last update? I feel like they got a
I
bit of a
don't know.
downgrade.
I don't know. I think
There's no way to know.
I can't
I
remember.
know. I know the zip. Those zips were compared to the Millistines were, I think, among the better all-rounders or even climber wheels. But yeah,
Interestingly, they've now added a segment in Strava for the corkscrew, which you'll do on this course. It wasn't a
Interesting.
segment in Strava until a little while ago. I only know this
ooh,
because I've
nice.
just noticed I got a PR on my ride. I'm like, I know I was doing zone 2 up the corkscrew earlier. So,
But it's a new segment.
yeah. So a new segment added. See how painful the corkscrew is. Always
Ooh,
painful.
that's fun.
Yep. Good. All right. Well, I hope everybody has fun racing HSRL. It is back. Numbers were good in race one, so get out there and smash yourself 10 times at least, 11 with a finish. Hopefully you're still in the
Yeah,
group.
as discussed in the when it was just me and Craig. I will probably try the Sunday afternoon slot for me. The now race 6, which was previously race 7, but final race of the weekend. Because it's the only one that fits in my schedule.
Don't forget there may be a group behind you because these are the old category pens, A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
and they're going off at 3-minute
Yep.
intervals. So D's are first, A's are last.
Yeah.
All
I will
riders
be happy
visible and
being
hanging on to the
mediocre
faster riders coming through is considered fair play. So
Yes.
go for it.
And if you time it well, yeah, that's the way to do it.
I will
Especially
be
if you get
happy
it on the
to
segment.
be I will be happy being low to mediocre C again.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Herd beginner racing this week. Two bridges loop. We got 2 laps for ease. And
Uh, didn't he say he reverted to RGV because of low numbers?
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
uh,
Oh,
yeah. As Greg mentioned, he's taking Matt's playbook and changing routes on the fly bit. Yeah, it's RGV because he's
Yeah.
trying to avoid having back-to-back low weeks. Uh,
Yeah.
so he went back to RGV.
RGV 25K is flat. Take your
Yeah.
fast bike, hang on, win the sprint at the end.
Pretty much.
Everybody will be the same, so that's good. All right. Um, and I think we Climbers Gambit Challenge is Volcano. That's still ongoing. Look for club events stuff.
Yeah, maybe not this weekend because I discovered, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday that the events weren't recurring again, so we had to request it. And I think maybe Meyerline maybe did it today, so probably don't expect any for this weekend. So sorry, climbers, but for people, and also for last week, some initial setup issues went went all according to plan with the slots and the timings, the setups. So hopefully by next weekend will be populated after this weekend. So you still have like 2 or 3 weekends to get your time in.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for those going on later on. All right. And that brings us to the news.
The
Who wants to,
news.
who wants to talk about new roads in France?
Yeah. So new roads in France released to coincide with the Paris-Roubaix Femme avec Zwift or whatever. So a couple little cut across roads, across RGV and Douce France, the big 25-kilometer loop. Now turning that into 3 loops. So yeah, it's pretty flat. Couple sprints, some cobbles, and some new routes in France. I think that's it, really.
I think
One of
I
those
think I'll,
segments
yeah, I
is
believe yeah, I believe the Dodan or so. It's the which is basically translated in English speed bump. I think it's maybe the longest sprint segment now in the game with 750 meters. I don't know if there's a longer one somewhere.
A little bit of an
and
uphill on it, and it's
and
on
it's an
cobbles,
uphill.
Yeah,
so it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
gonna be a
So
slow
yeah.
sprint.
just riding it, so not an effort, but it was about a 2 minute, like 2 minutes at like endurance pace, just riding. So quite a long segment.
I
What's
think
what's the CDA like now? Because that's the big thing, is it, when they chuck cobbles in game, is it used to be on the dirt surface and the
mean
cobbles. You
you
if you
mean
bumped up your watts, you could actually gap people because
With the
the
CRR.
CDA,
Yeah.
yeah, rolling
yeah, sorry,
resistance.
CRR, not CDA, but made a difference. But that's been sort of tuned down, hasn't it? So cobbles
Yeah,
aren't
but
quite as lumpy.
I'm not sure what they've done with cobbles because I know they've switched it for dirt, right? Um, and I'm not sure whether cobbles and dirt were considered the same in game or not. I do know that just from riding around, I was paying attention to my speed um, while riding these, on the croissant route, and just going from road to cobble, speed dropped 3K, something like that.
That's cool. I mean, it's never got it to work in a ladder race, but kind of that ride out of Nyokyo into Makuri, where it goes cobbly gravel, is an interesting place to just try and make the race hard. I've always wanted to try like mini TTT attack there. Always used to be a team time trial tactic back in the day, wasn't it? Of kind of these bits are coming up, you've got to kick it a little bit just to keep your speed up. So yeah, could be interesting. Who doesn't love new routes?
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, I think they nailed. I think it's only like 5 or 6 kilometers effectively new roads, but there were cobble section and on the one side of the wooded area, it's really looking nice, and the other side is more fancy with windmills and much more open, but looks nice.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I don't mind if it's not masses of kilometers added. I just like the variety of
Yeah,
like it looks like there's a number of different routes now that kind of France is a bit kind of like clock, wasn't it? There's sort of you can go left around the clock or right around the clock. Sorry, clockwise or
yeah,
anti-clockwise to be
Mm.
used like, the proper terms for way things go around clocks. But that was about it. Or you went up on
yeah,
top. So,
yeah.
Well,
Like Craig said, or Ben said, it's now sort of from one loop to three loops you can make of it. So yeah, it's gives more variety in your routes selection. If you follow route or even if you free ride, you can easily turn a bit more than having the same 25-kilometer out loop, which was a bit boring at times.
So just did a little look on Zwift Insider. They have a rolling resistance page. So Zwift Insider / CRR. And they actually have estimates of the wattage that it takes for each of the surfaces. And cobbles is not actually that bad. It's actually one like pavement and sand are identical, but then cobbles and brick are the next level, and it's only 13 watts from pavement. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if it seemed like speed dropped more than 13 watts worth. Um,
Out of what,
but
like 300 as a base? Or
this is at their like 75 kilogram rider at 40
yeah,
kilometers an hour. So
40
probably
kilometers an
something
hour.
like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Um, and that's with dirt being, 140 watts. And I think this is updated with the changes based on the new surface updates last year or whenever that was, a year and a bit ago. So yeah, possible that I'm totally totally wrong and I just slowed down because I was because I'm sick and I didn't want to be riding so hard.
Or you were just enjoying the cobblestones and the
Yeah.
environment.
I mean, I
probably
think
like you kind of you
I was
kind of
gonna
said
say
it.
adding eight, like, well, two sprints with two reverses, that definitely lends itself to an HSRL type course now that France has got 5 sprints and I don't know what you call the aqueduct, and then the Petit KOM for a climb.
Three, I think it's three segments in the new
Three,
routes, isn't it?
yeah, 3 segments. The one big
Oh,
sprint on the one
you're
section,
right.
and
You're right.
then two sprints on the other section
There's
on the
two on
other
the other
road.
sprint. That's right. There's a
Yeah,
flatter one. Yeah.
And Steve had kind of alluded to um the fact that it gives you like more variety, and they did open up a lot more routes. Like
yeah.
I think
I
it's
think
like 8 more routes.
they doubled
Sounds right.
basically the routes the routes they were on in France.
So can we talk about Venn minus 10
Yeah,
for
Is
the
it Venn
official
minus or
dumbest?
dash or like what
it's
is it?
dash.
And I'm not
It's
sure.
basic.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
basically 10 kilometers up and up from the pens, basically.
Yeah, I'd call it Ven 10.
Uh,
Venn 10. Okay, that's probably right. All right. It looks like you're right. It is to the first 10K.
yeah.
Oh, with a little lead in. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, okay, great. I don't
And
know
Is
what
it is
that.
it right that this is the only bit they've added the graphics to? Or have they added the
No,
graphics to all of on top?
no, it's
When you
the
say the
entire
graphics, I
van
mean
top.
like you get on App to Swift when you do that.
It's it's the entire van top. So it's I think 10 segments of 1.9 kilometer because van top in itself is 19 kilometer because the segment starts. I don't know why it starts 2 kilometers in the actual climb, but okay, you do
And
usually.
did,
The
did you
other bit
guys
of
look at
news,
this?
oh, go Brent.
Did you guys look at this macaron route?
I've seen it. I've seen it pop up. It's like a
I don't
250
understand
meter.
it.
Yeah.
2.6 kilometers into the sprint route. That's all it is. I don't understand this. Goes from the Pens to this first sprint, 2.6K. That's it. To the new
Yeah.
route.
And
I love
a
that.
short sprint.
Let's use that as a you know, as
Prologue,
a TT route.
Yeah.
prologue
Oh, good
PT,
point.
prologue
Stampede
PT.
comes back. We just do 2.6K on macaron.
So I don't know if this is news or not, but has anyone else spotted that the Aero Lightning socks actually make you faster? And I'm not sure if that's the first
It
non-bit of
is.
bike, if that makes sense, that makes a performance difference. So we talk a lot about bike and wheel choice, but
You
now
know,
sock choice.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it when it was unlocked that there was indeed and on the higher levels some kind of performance advantage for the being the first apparel other than a bike or your wheels that has a performance tied to it.
Yeah, so the Lightning socks are unlocked for doing the Zwift Factory Challenge. No further questions about what that is. You can tell I'm reading that from the screen. But apparently make you 12 seconds for, or made Eric's test bot 12 seconds faster over an hour on a flat route.
Which
I think
is
that's the
what,
second.
probably a few watts.
Yeah. It's the second upgrade, right? You've got to get, I don't know, a very large number of watt hours in.
Yeah. It's the, you know, Tron bike equivalent of the fancy socks for just like sitting and riding. You get the
Mhm.
things and then you got to go another whatever it is year of riding to get to get them
Yeah. To
upgraded.
get the upgrade.
I could see
Regarding that,
that I could see that being a thing that gets that gets applied to more things, right? So like aero helmets
Yeah.
would make a lot of sense.
Well, given the uproar of bike upgrades, I'm sure if we get into clothing upgrades, there will be a mass
Oh,
like
Yeah,
delusion
I'm
of
putting a face. This is where like
purchase.
I accidentally got into an argument with somebody on Facebook about who was complaining that Zwift wasn't a simulator. And I replied to them to say, Zwift has never said it's a simulator. And in fact, what I think Zwift does really well is it gamifies training. And I know we've sort of talked about this a lot and kind of how much of a game Zwift is kind of when it will not reopen that can of worms. But I just think like just let people wear what they want. Like if you want to go around with bunny ears because you like watching the pixels in the screen have bunny ears on them, and it makes you sit on your ass and pedal more. Brilliant. Like
go for
if
it.
if there's enough conformity in bikes at the moment anyway. Like, God, let's not make it look really dull because I always like it when there's different bikes in the pen. When you got like, it was a stage with racing where everyone knew the Tron was the fastest bike. Everyone had or everyone was on this bike and these wheels, and like, it's nice that avatars look different. Like if everyone's suddenly in the black aero helmet because it'll only come in black, and then
Mhm.
everyone's wearing the same kit, which all looks the same. It just the game will become harder, and that's not fun. And B, it'll just look boring. Anyway, rant over.
yeah,
I
for
couldn't
also
agree more.
people are gonna do what they want to do because I found it. We talked about people min-maxing the upgrades and seeing already comments. People have fully upgraded like a Tarmac SLA to stage 5 within, what is it, a week or 2 weeks. We're now into bike upgrades. It's just mind-boggling to me. Yeah.
I just put the video on from Swift Insider to like look at those animations for the electro socks. And I had never really like looked at this sprint animation before. When the guy like hangs his head over the bars like that, that's that's pretty wicked. I, like that looks really,
I'm
I'm sure that's what I look like actually. Even more hopeless, frankly, but you know.
I'm wondering what it's going to look like if you have the ghost, and then you light up your electric socks. Is that going to do like the fire sock trail? Will people still be able to see where you're at?
Probably.
I
I
wouldn't count
hope
on Swift
so.
getting that.
That's
If
the
Wing
goal.
QC testing is anything to learn off,
Yeah,
almost
I
yeah,
hope
I don't
so.
know.
The fire socks still being visible with the ghost is the best hidden feature
Yeah.
of the game. That
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
could have made a thing
remo-
out of it though. They could have like, how cool would it be if it just looked like Back to the Future? So when you
I was
first
gonna
activated
say,
the ghost, you
Yeah.
left like a 10-meter line. You traveled back in time and you arrive in 1955. Like
Yeah.
it could have been cool, but
and you go 88 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
1.21 gigawatts.
That's already a
Oh.
badge.
I know, I know. This is the part where like we need to remind everybody that we're already past the point in time that Marty McFly went to the future and it's like,
See what
Where is
I
my
was-
happens.
hoverboard? Damn you,
No
Brent.
Yeah, I
flying
was promised.
skateboards.
Speaking of go back to Zwift and upgrades. How many upgrades? I'm still 120 kilometers off my first upgrade.
I got my
Only-
first. I got my Tarmac SLA back to conformity using the new bike, but I'm to level 1. But yeah,
I've only done one ride since the upgrades came out and I did it on the Tron.
So I've been upgrading Zwift entry level bikes. I'm gonna work towards Tron upgrades eventually.
so you're
Nice.
busy with your BMX bike to upgrade
BMX.
it
Well, so
first,
before
really.
I get the BMX bike, I was working on upgrading the Zwift Steel. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem for me is I went into the rabbit hole, and besides Swift, I'm also now riding on Ruby, so I'm splitting my kilometers and my virtual kilometers.
See, I thought about your min-maxing from a few weeks ago, Steph, and I think I've actually got a solution for you there. Now, what you need to do is get some power pedals, and because Zwift outdoor rides now count as Zwift, you also run Zwift on your phone and connect your power pedals up to your phone whilst you do your outdoor ride. So you actually get double the distance for that day because you do the ride outdoors and your power pedals are inputting to your ride on Zwift. So you magically do, well, probably more than double the distance because you'll ride further on Zwift with that power than you will outdoors. But there you go. Hook your power pedals on your bike up to your phone while you go out for a bike ride.
Genius.
Sean's sadly shaking his head in the corner there.
That's
The numbers go up.
That's the worst
Numbers
hack,
go up.
and someone's gonna get run over from looking down at their
You don't even need
Zwift.
to look it down. You just put your phone in your jersey pocket. Like,
Yeah.
put yourself on TikTok, phone in the jersey pocket, connect it to your power pedals, go out for a bike ride. Number go up.
Brilliant.
I've totally
like
lost
that-
track of what we were gonna do next.
I think the
I
only
like
other
that-
thing we were going to cover was the bug for poor Scotty in the pocket with the
Oh, yeah.
ghosts or the ghost, the shadow. What do we call those?
The PR goes or
PR ghosts. Yeah, I-
time goes.
I turned mine off immediately the first time I saw it, so I haven't actually seen this bug, but
Oh, on
some
the
of the
segment where
screenshots are
the
pretty
ghost-
fun.
the ghost pops up on the segment when
Yeah.
you're going through.
Yeah, and if you have a Scottish squirrel, because it mimics your bike, but it also, I think, mimics Scottish. If you have Scottish squirrel in your pocket, it mimics that. But I think there's a bug, and the physics go all wonky. It's going in different dimensions. Scottish squirrel isn't too happy about it, I think.
I'm gonna have to
You-
see this. I'm not following.
It is being stretched like a rag doll all over physics wise.
So it's not as spectacular as I made it sound the first time.
Yeah.
But it's pretty weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little weird.
But yeah, Zwift is working on it. I saw a post from James that they're trying, should be fixed with the next update or the next fix. So
I think a moment of quick love for James Bailey. He's been a bit ill recently. He's missed out on going to the Swift community thingamajig, and he's still working his butt off. So yeah,
That's
props to
bad.
James for getting back on these things, I think.
and
Well,
he
and
also has
was
to deal.
dealing with the fallout of things they were saying at Swift Community Live, I think.
Yeah, and
So-
he's now dealing with the online community not happy about something new gets introduced and people still complain. So he has to deal with it as a community manager, but as is always the case.
So I hadn't actually seen the Scotty Squirrel glitch, and now I hope that they leave this as an option.
Yeah, I think it looks nice.
Because I love the just the horror of the stretched out squirrel floating. It's like a Cthulhu situation. I love
I
it.
thought of Cthulhu too. I was like, oh, it's a little disturbing, but I like
Let's
it.
go into Doctor Strange. It looks like something that would happen in a
Yeah.
Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah,
so
Like
there's-
this bike in the world like opens up into like the weird kaleidoscope effect.
So it is in the release
Now
notes
that would
for
be a cool
version
power up.
Yeah, so version 1.87 does have in the release notes interdimensionally extruded hologram Scotty will be returned to his proper place in volumetric space in the next release. So,
Oh.
That's a good update
That's a
note. I
nice
like that.
description for it as well.
See, I
Alright,
think that
well-
would be a cool power up. Is like you made Swift like Inception, right? And suddenly everyone's riding on the right hand side of their screen because you've activated your power up.
That would be good. That would be good. I will just say, Steve, I know we were going to get into it, but you talked about it a little bit, your friend on Facebook talking about Zwift not a simulator. And it occurred to me as I was looking at this thing, because of course the screenshot is from I'll mispronounce it brutally, de Quarmont, from,
Yeah.
it's not Paris-Roubaix. It's from,
Europe
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
For
one of those
flaggers.
races.
Any major Flanders classic
Yeah.
Ronde van
race
Vlaanderen.
goes over it.
Flanders or something. So no.
Yeah, it goes over that.
Right. So in any event, like I get
Well-
it. Like I'm with you. Like 99% of what Zwift does is not a simulator, but then they do things like they put these climbs in, which the entire purpose of these climbs are to I don't know if I should use the word simulate, but reflect, mirror, gauge in some way, some realistic, like, you know what I mean? Like if Zwift was not trying to be a simulator, they could just put like 2K hill that's at 1.8%. But the reason that it attracts people is that it's notionally, in some vague sort of way, reflective of a thing that exists in real life, right? The whole point of the Alpe de Zwift is that it reflects the Alpe de Huez. They don't call it like, big hill. So yes,
I think
yes,
so.
I
My
agree.
my rant is more like that's being serious about it. I think people look at Swift and a bit naively go, what I do on Zwift is what I'll do on the real road. Now,
Hmm.
so any bike simulator out there assumes you've got your tires pumped up correctly. It assumes your chain isn't dirty. It assumes that your bike clothes fit correctly, and it assumes that you ride in optimal position, or you ride
That's
in a position which doesn't really change.
that's perfect.
All of
That's all
those
four
things,
of those things I don't do.
yeah, all of those things massively, massively. Like you can lose 10, 20 watts from having a badly lubed chain. Like for
And
me,
there's
that's
no wind.
10% of my power.
Yeah,
Like
I was about to say,
Yeah, no wind is the other one.
yeah,
and,
wind. Out to
and
Zwift goes upwards. You probably stay at the altitude you're at in your shed, unless you're doing some
yeah,
crazy stuff in Canada now. Like I don't know, you're in an escalator, but you're not losing. You're not losing like O2. I mean, this is what they talk about this in the Tour de France when they get to the hills that go over 2,000 meters. Like it really separates out climbers because some people physiologically can do the stuff over 2,000 meters. Some
uh,
people really suffer there. So like it's I just. Yeah, I hear you, and I'm probably on that side of the argument when you can put the climbs at 50% difficulty, not trainer difficulty, but 50, and I just that just melts my brain. Like I want to do, I want to do the Tourmalet, but I want it to be half as long and half as steep. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like if I'm going to do the Tourmalet, it's really long and it's about 7%, 8% the whole time. Like it's like, but I've done that. Like it just seems mad that you kind of can simulate a climb, but then turn difficulty or turn the difficulty of the climb down by shortening it. It's not the climb anymore. It's a different thing. Anyway, I'm
It's a
going to come
different
off
thing, but
the soapbox.
if you've only got 50 minutes to do it and you think you can do it at 50%, like yeah, then knock yourself out. But
Mm.
I hear you.
Well,
But yeah, I
I'll
think
say,
the person on Facebook, their rant was people were beating Tour de France riders up that climb. I don't think they really were. Like, and we were talking beforehand. We've seen some people ride climbs like in comparative to Tour de France times, and I think we kind of questioned whether they can do that. But there are also some really, really strong people. Like Matt de Freitas is a good example. Matt is a really quick runner. Matt was a very, very, very quick runner when he was younger. He's still a very, very quick runner in his age group. Like he does some seriously quick times because guess what? Like actually, if you jump on your bike and warm up and do a 20-minute effort, you can probably match what these guys are doing after 5 hours on a bike. Because
Yeah,
they're a little bit tired from doing
Yeah,
five
so
hours on the
that's
bike before they go
I
full gas up a hill.
there is actually something to be said about so Ed Laverack, he's got his YouTube channel. There's Andrew Feather, all these like
yeah,
the British hill
he'll
climb
climb.
champion
Yeah,
type folks. Uh, if you compare what they can do for 20 minutes fresh to a world, maybe not Pogacar or Vingegaard, but like good climbers in the Tour de France, like they can do those numbers. What they can't do is do those numbers 5 hours into the 15th stage of a tour, right?
It's the same with the sprinters as well. Like really, none of the top tour sprinters would compete in the sprints on the track because those guys are absolute watt monsters.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, there's been a
right.
couple,
Yeah.
but yeah, for the most part, no.
In like the kilo and things like that, where it's pure watts for like a short period of time, those guys are built to do that speed as fast as they can. Like so, somebody like that could jump on Zwift and probably be quite competitive, where you have to be like for an hour, like it's crit racing, is very different. Anyway, I think we've arrived at round the horn, haven't we? Sort of
Yeah.
accidentally. Like
yeah.
Steph mentioned it. It's things that are making us grumpy about Zwift, I think, is what we're going to talk about. Steph, you're grumpy that you can't count your Ruby rides on Zwift. I think that was the
no,
the
no,
thing that was making you grumpy.
I was just joking. No, 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 totally not. No, but yeah, it's expected, but sometimes it's sad. We have new things looking out for it with the new things coming out, and people just bitch and moan about the smallest things, and you think why can't you be happy about certain stuff or whatever?
Yeah, I
Well,
think our serious point was actually like we all seem to quite like the new UI on the training data on the companion app. Craig,
Yeah.
I think you said it looked like a graph you made yourself when you were running, but like the like we quite like that UI, and it's a shame if it's going to be a useful training aggregator. It's a shame you can't count your training from other platforms in there.
Those outside
Yeah,
rides
but
that go in aren't going to go into it? Or just
Outside
the,
rides
in your
yeah,
other
do, but
platform?
not
Oh,
on
yeah.
other
yeah,
platforms.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
but
there's probably some business
because
reasons for that.
yeah, but I think it's because when I register because I ride on Ruby, it connects to my Garmin because I have that link. Same with Swift to Garmin for my rides. But yeah, I can see won't do the triangle part, and you could say because it's a different platform. But I think like Mario summed it best in our chat. It's a basic graph, but I think for the over for just a simplified version for people to understand it. If you want something more out of it like us, I have intervals for having for my overall data with my fatigue and freshness if I want to have still have my Garmin where so all the data from it, so it does if I want to analyze stuff. But yeah, I think it's a nice feature, and it's fun just to have it. People were, like I said, were bitching and moaning. Why is it now counting auto kilometers? And then yeah, like I think Maryland summed it up last week pretty well. If you want that training score or that freshness, you have to include things like auto rides. Otherwise, it won't be perfect. For me, it won't be perfect because if I ride on Ruby, it doesn't count. But yeah, it is what
I
it is.
like
But
it. I think someone's thought
look,
about the UI. It's quite pretty in the app. It's
yeah,
also look. It's called me productive. Don't
yeah.
I feel great now? I'm
Nice.
never that productive. My status is productive. Thanks, Swift.
Yeah.
Mine is rested.
Is
My one
what?
time in April, rested.
Rested. I'm
Uh,
detraining, which is it's like, oh, thanks. I know I'm sick.
Yeah, I was
Oh
going to say,
no,
I think I'm
that's
one level below that. Stressed, it says.
Ooh.
Like,
Swift's
I'm
being quite
fresh.
amen to
mean to you
that.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm fresh.
Also
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah, Steve's the only one doing enough writing right now.
Just be more productive, guys. I think basically start from a low base would be the advice I give you there. Oh dear. So, Craig, anything from you? What people that random annoyances?
No. I mean, everybody's getting worked up about the bike upgrades. Yeah, I don't have a problem with people teleporting and descending. The guys running 5 watt to kilogram ant simulators, I do have a bit of a problem with. So yeah, there's a
I
spectrum. I
think
don't think
you
anybody's
have two
happy with the
problems with
guys
that,
running
don't you, Craig? Is
simulators.
that
I
one, you
don't
don't
know
like the
if
cheating, and the second one is that you don't like that they don't cheat very well. Like you when we've spoken about this in the past, you're like, it's just really easy to like overlay a noise simulator on this and make it
Yes.
look really.
Put
talking
some
about
effort
cheating.
into it.
Yeah. It's
Talk,
also, yeah,
talk,
not only is it annoying that you're cheating, it's really annoying that you're doing it so badly.
Right.
talking about cheating and exploiting, is the TTT exploit still a thing where I heard it on Witopia, and some I think Van Poynton mentioned it, that if you join like a race or whatever with that has basically no time limit, if you joined with a TT bike, even if you sat down, basically not moving, the time you were in that event or in that race would count towards your time spent on upgrading your TT bike. So that was people found that out. I
I
don't
heard
know
a
if
rumor that that had that had been closed.
Yeah,
That
okay.
they had
I
changed
suspect it
that.
probably would have, but yeah.
Yeah, but I did not check.
Grumpy Brent, you normally like a grumpy rant. If you got anything good about annoys you about people randomly being grumpy about Swift?
What I was gonna say is like this whole thing about people being grumpy about things or complaining about stuff is to me so much more a symptom of something that has come up in recent years. We can get deeper into speculation on why that might be, but just people who think that because they thought about something for 15 seconds, that somebody who like works on it every day and night as part of their life didn't think of that, right? Like people who are programming Swift and doing it, like whatever happens, they set up this UI or whatever, and they come up with this training thing, and they do it a certain way. And someone's like, "Oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" Like the people who spent probably a half dozen people probably spent 60, 80, 100 hours each, like going through this thing. You think they didn't think of that? You think there's not a reason? There's some trade-off. There's, some piece of information which would make it look worse, which would make it look easier. They've probably focus grouped it against like 100 people to narrow in whatever their market is. Like just because it's not for you doesn't mean they didn't think about you, guy who sat down and thought about it for 15 seconds on the internet. Like it just and just feels empowered to like go on some forum and like this is the worst idea ever. Terrible. You have no idea what you're talking about. You probably haven't even written Zwift before and you're posting the Zwift forums about how bad it is. Like
I
this
think
whole
that
symptom infects society right now, and it's just it drives me a bit crazy in a few other forums as well that like people just feel so empowered to weigh in on things that like you don't think that the people who work on this as part of their jobs, who've been doing this job for 20 years and have spent, countless hours thinking about this, didn't think about the thing you thought about in the last 15 seconds you read about it
Yeah,
from the
I would
headline.
call that like comment section culture.
I think
But
it's like
that's backseat
again, without
gaming,
getting too
basically,
deep, I think
so
I think it's that as you said, that kind of my problem or my thing should be optimal thing that's added on that as well. It's like we mentioned it before, like quite a lot of people on Swift don't race, so I kind of don't mind that they make it a nice training tool aimed at the people who do workouts that is like what they want to it's the people who come and pay the bills a lot. Like I'm probably not their most important customer. Like that's fine. Like you're allowed to target audiences that aren't me. It's just crazy, isn't it? These people kind of, you should fix my problem first because I'm angry and have a keyboard.
And it's never a question. It's never why is it like this or why did you do it that way? It's always I, this was the dumbest decision ever. They shouldn't have done it like that. So,
The
Swift, why are you so
superlatives of
stupid?
it.
yeah.
John,
Okay.
John, I think you need to mellow us back out with some.
How
Yeah,
did the
as the
rest of the
old
banana
man.
water go down?
Yeah, as the old man who recently spent an entire day shaking his fist at the sky because I got to replace my old phone with a new phone and spent like 4 hours like logging back into all my apps and losing all my
yep.
passwords and oh my God, I was an unhappy camper yesterday. I don't have anything to complain about in Swift at all. I mean, I I find it humorous that people on like the big spins were always, there's always something that's getting people worked up. And so I would kind of poke that hornet's nest every once in a while.
How
Wait,
dare
we
you
haven't had
use
enough
this differently than I do?
Yeah, wait, we haven't had any complaints about late joiners yet. There's only 4 more minutes left. Get your complaints in now. Like, I mean, it's a great tool, like you said earlier, Steve. Like, it just gets people on their bike and it gets them working and it gets them hopefully healthier and maybe a little mentally healthier because they've been exercising and not posting comments to strange boards about things. I don't know why are people angry? Like, is this the new culture? Is this
You've
where we've
reminded me,
gone?
I've seen people angry basically at chance, which makes it is people complaining about the Swift big spin, like I've done it 10 times and I haven't got all 10 things.
Well,
No,
there you
'cause
go. Right.
it's not how chance works, I'm afraid.
Yeah. That's maybe you should have taken a statistics and probability class in college.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been quite as angry anymore. No, I love it. I miss it. I've been out for a week, out of town, and horrible illnesses that I shall not recount here. And I just have been on a couple days, and it felt really good just to get back on the bike and just noodle around the new roads in France. And yeah, I missed it.
I think we got to leave it. I think we got to leave it there. Zwift is good. Zwift is fun. Enjoy Zwift. So with that we will say thank you to Steve Pritchard. Thank you to Craig Martin. Thank you to Stef Jen. Thank you to Sean Fogenberg. Thank you to John Keenan. Thank you to everybody listening at home. Thank you to everyone doing their herd races this weekend. Enjoy the new season of HSRL, everybody. Smash it out there. Moo and good night. Craig's away. Who could stop the recording?
Craig said he thought you might
Make
be
it
able to.
stop.
I can't stop the recording. I
don't
can
think
end
I
the
can.
thing, so like maybe that will stop the recording on his end and save to his computer. This will be really funny if all of this ends up not being saved.
Well, hopefully he comes back and doesn't. Did he? Did he's gone? Gone? He must have left it on because he was coming back, right?
He had to go pick up kids.
I think he'll get the
Oh,
file
that's why he was leaving it
after
on.
the meeting.
Oh, right, right. Oh well, hopefully we just leave it on and it'll download.
Well,
when he gets back.
so I think I can end the meeting for everyone.
Oh, okay.
And when that happens, it will probably stop the recording on his end. Anyway, I
Okay.
think we should leave
Or it
this
will
whole
lose it
discussion.
all. Or
I
it
think
will
we
lose it
should
all.
put this whole discussion into the podcast when it gets saved and uploaded.
Moo
100%.
and good night.